Hello everybody. Today I'm going to be installing the Homemade Interlock. I've got it almost finished. I'm going to show you a couple things that I run into when I was doing this. Before I do, I want to show you how smooth this interlock is. That's the way you want yours. You want it where it works smooth. Okay, when I notched out my slots right here, I done it with a grinder. And I knew I shouldn't have been messing with it when I was tired. And I didn't have my good glasses on. And I notched it out, just not being patient. I notched it out a little more than what I needed. And it made me have, it was too sloppy, is what I'm trying to say. And it made me have to add like this extra piece right here. I'll show you what I done about that. I just cut a piece that was fit that spot, and I stuck it down in the grinder, in the vise, and bent it over, like this. I'm gonna go back over here and show you, and you see what I'm talking about. And that's what this is right here. And it's only added just a little bit, cause it ain't I took a mile out, but I just took just a little bit too much and it made it sloppy. But this sits against the breaker just right. I've already tried it, you know, and when it's sitting in there, it's sitting tight, just because I've added this. And I took this over to the grinder, you know, one of them bench grinders. And this is made out of plates. And I was sitting there, like, kind of just shaping it up, just squaring it up so it looked good for the video. Not that it needed to be, but I wanted it to look good for the video, see. The grinder over there, I held it at the wrong angle and it caught one of the plates. Snatched one of the plates near about halfway off. So I epoxied that back. And then I put these screws in there, and I'm fit to take this apart and show it to you. And here's the back side of it. And here's my screws I got screwed in it. Once I screwed them in there, I took a grinder and cut the tips off, and there's two here too. But what I done is just reinforce my plate a little bit. You see I got a little bit of grease on here. You see my hole's kind of sloppy. It needed to be just the same thickness of this screw, and you see that ain't very much right there. But just that little bit is loose play, see? And I am going to take some epoxy and wipe it on this before I take it in the house and put it on there, and I'm going to do that for you in a minute. But I am going to put some epoxy on these 3 screws, like a real thin layer. I love epoxy. And see, I had to put these washers on this side because this is raised up. So I had to put that on there so it would be flush. If I didn't have the washers in there, this side would be sticking in there too far. I know you know what I'm talking about. And don't get me wrong, I think this right here needs to be made good. But this ain't something that like you're gonna be messing with every day of the week, you know? I reckon I might, you know, I'm fitting to cut these off, put the screw on it, cut them off, but I reckon I might need to go ahead and epoxy this before I cut that off, because even when I put my bolts back on, I'm going to epoxy the top of the bolt. I'll show you in a minute. I got a couple little things to tell you. I'm going to be using a 110 generator that it don't put out 240 volts. And that's what I want, and that's what I'm going to be using. I don't want no 240. But it has to be hooked up a certain way. I'm going to be making a video showing that. I'm still waiting for my generator to come in. And the other thing I was going to tell you is this interlock. I've got a video that shows you how to make it. An easy way to make it. If you're just sitting there looking at your panel and you're trying to figure out what to do, what to cut out, it's almost impossible to do it. That's why they charge so much. Because it just ain't easy to do. But I figured out a way that you can do it, man, in 10 minutes. I ain't joking neither. I got a video about that. Okay, and I'm only going to be putting just a tiny bit to this. But I don't want to have a hump. So I'm going to put a little bit on each one of these screws. And then I'm going to make sure I got it flat. I don't want a hump in it. I don't think I need this, but you know, I'm making the video and I have to try to do everything like as good as I can do it, you know, for y'all. And I tell you what, I might even like stick the ladder to this where it'll go on and kind of lay down as flat as it'll lay down. That heat'll make it go on and spread out. And you see that I hadn't got this painted. I had painted it, and the paint was just wasn't working out real good. So I ground it off. I didn't have time to wait for no week for the paint. If that starts rusting, I'll take it apart and repaint it. While I'm waiting for that epoxy to dry, I was going to tell you a little bit about the 110. If you're using a 110, and that's a small generator, you're only going to have one hot wire. So see, part of your breakers won't work with 110. And the ones that I got, well, this is the one that my hot wire will be coming in on right here. And then I'll only be using these 3 breakers and one down here, air conditioner. I was like this, well anyway, I'm going to make a video about that. Just might want to look out for it. It's going to be the next video. I'm actually going to be taking this panel back off and making that video so I can get you to understand. A lot of people don't want them big old loud generators. I don't want no big old loud generator. And I don't have nothing that I want to run that's on 220. Everything that I want to run is on 110. I don't have no well. So if you want to run something that's going to be running on 220, you might better you better go on and get you a generator that is 220 or 240. And you heard what I said right there. I'm not an electrician. I just know just the very basics of this right here. But I've talked to a couple of my friends that is electricians, and they're the ones that told me about the panel, like only 1/2 will work with the 110. One other thing, I done walked off. Don't even try to hook up both sides. I can't say both sides. Both parts of the panel, the A and the B, don't even try to do it with a 110. If you want both sides of your panel working, go on and get you a big generator that'll do it. That'll energize both sides. I'm still waiting for that epoxy to dry, but I want to tell you this right here. Don't stick your hand in that fuse box. I know I don't have to tell you that. Don't stick your hand in that fuse box unless you turn the main breaker off. Don't even take no chance even for a second. I've got a my main box is outside, and whenever I mess with this thing, I go out there and I cut the power off to my panel that's inside the house, and I don't mind walking out there. I mean, I done got in my 50s, and I realized, man, mistakes can happen, and they can happen easy. And this kind of mistake right here, you might not live to say, I wished I'd have done it. And I went in there to get my coffee. I thought of something to tell y'all. The transfer switches, they seem like to me that they good, but I think they start at about $200. You know, you can get a transfer switch for $110. And then I actually was gonna buy this interlock, but they didn't make one for this breaker box, and that's why I wound up having to make one. I sat here and looked at that thing an hour. And after like looking at it for an hour, I wasn't no further along than looking at it for 5 minutes. But while I was looking at it, I did figure out an easy way how to make a pattern so you can do this. And I've got a generator coming, and I want to tell you this right here. I think it's important. You want to buy that generator local. I know Amazon's great, man, but you want to be able to take that thing back, you know, if you ain't happy, without any hassle or without having to ship it and all that. So see, that's why I bought mine local. And I was going to tell you, right here's where my generator will be, and I'm going to build a box for it. And don't worry, I ain't going to close it off, but I'm going to partially close it off. But I'll have it fixed where I can close it completely off when I'm not using it. And I bought underground cable, and it's going to run from here right under my porch there into my breaker box. Because see, this is going to be permanent. Now, and if I ever want to use the generator, I'll just simply buy another cord. I won't be that cord when I put it down there. That's where it's going to be, and that's where it's going to stay. But I will have it to where I can take that generator out and use it. Hey, and I will tell you one last thing that before I, stop all this. One time I took a little motorcycle muffler and added it to a four-wheeler muffler. And, I used it for hunting. And I'm going to tell you about the problem about a muffler. I know for a fact that adding a muffler will make you lose some power. Hey, I don't think it. I know it. I drove the four-wheeler. Now, it was fine for what I was doing. But it did take away the power, the top end, to take off. Nothing was the same, but it didn't hurt it that much. I would say like probably 12% of the power I could tell was gone. But that thing, man, you couldn't even hardly hear it just standing right beside of it. But you don't need to. I don't think you need to choke your generator down trying to add an extra muffler. I thought of something else to say about the muffler deal. If you got a real big generator with more power than what you need, you probably would be all right adding a muffler to that. But the generator that I'm getting, a generator inverter, and that's why I'm getting it. That's why I want that particular one, is because it's quiet. I don't want to hear that noise from a mile away from my house. But them loud generators, see, they have to run 36 RPM just to start producing power. That's why they loud, and that's why they have to make them like that. But if you don't need all the power, you can add a muffler. And if I have one, I would add one. I guarantee you I would. I've done so much stuff, you wouldn't believe it. One time I put tractor tires on a mud bogging truck. When I was about 20 years old, I put a motorcycle motor on a go-kart. I made a log splitter. And man, I've done so much stuff, like just, I reckon, like most people will call it dumb stuff, but I've done so much dumb stuff that it ain't even funny, and I still do that. I'll show you something here. See this pontoon boat? See the drive-on rails I made? Hey, that right there. A pontoon boat ain't that easy in the river, in flowing water, without that right there. So I made that and put that on there. Man, you can just, get your front end in there, and you can just drive that thing up, and it holds it straight. Hey, and I'll show you this too. I was talking about I make all kind of stuff. This right here is a converter right here. And I use this for different things, putting up antennas and stuff, and I also take this in the house like at night when I'm like been messing with that panel box. So I have a light, because I got my electricity cut off whenever I'm doing that. I got a video about how to make this right here. And this right here, man, it works just as good as it can be. I've been in the house looking at the, putting the video together. And what I done is, I told you that part of your fuse box won't work, and I don't mean half like this side and this side. I'm talking about part of it won't work. You're going to have to watch, if you need to know more about it, you have to watch my next video. But what I done is I took, I told you the red tape is the breakers that I want to use. I had to move these around. I had to move these around a little bit. I had to take a double breaker that was on this side and move it to this side, so I could have my lights. Your lights won't hardly burn hardly nothing. Your refrigerator don't burn much neither. But anyway, that's going to be in the next video if you want to look at that. I'm fitting to finish this up right here. I used to get out here and make stuff and do all kind of stuff, and it just ain't as fun as it used to be. Man, I've made so much stuff, I actually got tired of making stuff one time. Now I'll unloosen it some. And, that's what I was talking about. And I'm going to take the box in there. I ain't going to epoxy it yet. I'll probably just epoxy it on the box. But I'm going to loosen it back up some where it slides good. And what I'll do is I'll get it in there, make sure it's working real good. Clean this up, and then just put just a little touch of epoxy on it to like where it won't never spin. I got my panel right here, and I'm going to put it on there. I got to put it on first. I ain't going to put all the screws in everything because I'm going to be taking it right back off. I'm still got to hook something up down here. I run a separate wire for my 110 air conditioner. I put it on the line by itself because there was a lot of stuff on that one line, so I put the air conditioner by itself. Okay, I got my two pieces on, and here it is right here, and you see this is my main breaker. It's on, and see how this is upside of my generator wire that's coming in. I can't turn that breaker on. You can't turn it on until I move this interlock out of the way. So I'll cut the main breaker off. Then see that slide down. Now this hadn't got nothing on it right yet, but then I can cut this on, and I can't slide it back up. I can't cut this back on until I turn this back off. So see, this is a good thing, y'all, and I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do this without this interlock or the transfer switch. Okay, everybody, don't forget to like and subscribe. Look out for the next video. We'll see y'all next time.